Rosaura wants to know, what's the earnest down for? So an earnest money deposit. This is required from a buyer when you're writing an offer on real estate. When you are making an offer to a seller and the seller accepts your offer, upon acceptance of your offer, you are generally required in most markets across the country, you're required to deposit an earnest money deposit, which is kind of like a security deposit, a good faith deposit that you're going to proceed with the transaction and do the best that you can to try and close. Now, if for some reason you don't qualify for financing, or the home inspection goes in such a way, in a direction that makes you not want to purchase the property because maybe there's repairs that need to be done, maybe they're too extensive of repairs that you don't even want to move forward, or you want to have the seller make the repairs and the seller decides that they don't want to make the repairs. Well, your home inspection contingency protects your earnest money deposit so that if you back out and you're within your contingency period, you get your earnest money deposit back. The financing contingency does the same thing. It protects your money if you don't qualify for financing, or if the appraisal comes in low, especially with VA financing, you're protected. You get your earnest money deposit back as long as you're within the timeline of the contract. Now, this is why contracts, real estate contracts, are so important that you follow the timeline. And I see it all the time where real estate agents write a contract, but they're not keeping the buyer up to date with the requirements of the contract, and they're not making sure that you're meeting the contract dates. And this can put you at risk of losing that earnest money deposit. The earnest money deposit, the amount will differ. It will differ based on the market that you're buying in. And if you are negotiating to have the seller pay 100% of your closing costs, then you usually get that earnest money deposit back at closing. So it really is just a good faith deposit. And that's why oftentimes we say you can buy a house for less money out of your pocket than you can rent, because with rent, you have to pay first month's deposit or first month's rent, security deposit, sometimes last month's rent, before you can actually move into the property. So when you're buying, if you're paying an earnest money deposit, anywhere from, could be $1,000 to $10,000 in most markets. $10,000 obviously is if you're buying a more expensive house or if you're buying from a builder. So this is something that you're going to want to talk to your real estate agent about in your local market to find out what is a reasonable earnest money deposit. But that is what an earnest money deposit is. Again, a good faith deposit that you're going to move forward with the transaction. That money is protected with contingencies written into the contract. As long as you're working with a good real estate agent who knows what they're doing, they should be writing those contingents according to your timeline. You have to sell a house. You have a home sale contingency. You have a home inspection contingency. You have a financing contingency. There are other types of contingencies. You can do a title review. You can do an HOA review. There's a lot of different things that you can put into a contract to protect your earnest money deposit. But that is what an earnest money is. Hopefully that answers your question, Rosario. And I'm sure a lot of other people have that same question because not everybody just knows what an earnest money deposit means.